Hi, my name is Otto Fox, and I'm a teen theater intern at the Rose Theater. This is my co-host.
Hi, I'm Pretzel Urwin. I use they, them pronouns. And I'm also a teen intern at the Rose Theater, and this is the TnTea Podcast.
Today we have two topics that we're going to talk about. One is the morality of bootlegging for the first half, and the second is lesser-known shows, parentheses, overlooked shows, that we believe the modern high school theater kid should know about.
Oh yeah, let's jump into it.
So, we just have a sketchy outline of this. First on our list, classism. What's that about? So, bootlegging, people are oftentimes against it because, hey, that's like stealing, but they don't assess that it can cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars to access a quality show.
Yeah, accessing Broadway shows, just specifically in New York or any sort of professional production, is really expensive and really not accessible to a lot of people in lower classes. So bootlegging is helpful. Maybe not the most moral of the evils, I guess. It's not the lesser of the two evils. It's definitely the bigger of the two evils.
I would say it's super moral because if you're a bootlegger, right, and you watch bootleg shows, they're not going to be quality recordings of it. And people who actually go online and look for bootlegs aren't going to pass up the opportunity to see a show because they saw a crappy production of Dear Evan Hansen with someone walking through the camera 5% of the time.
Yeah, there is that portion of it's giving accessibility to people who don't have it, but it's also not the best version of what it could be. So it's lowering expectations in a way, but also there's the morality of these people are putting in a hard work to make these shows and produce and put on these amazing productions. And not being able to record and put their work out to the full level of quality it should be, is disrespectful in a way, but also it is giving that theater to people who just cannot afford to fly themselves somewhere and buy a $100 ticket. So in a way, I agree. It is a very moral, thing, giving accessibility to everybody. But also in other ways, it's not very...
Yeah, no,
they
should be compensated for their hard work because it's very difficult and, we all know this. But I think a good alternative would be to provide those professionally made recordings so that those creators would get compensated for their hard work.
Yeah.
Because, I know Newsies... so big. Everyone loves Newsies. Professionally recorded. Fantastic. That doesn't mean if Newsies comes to Omaha, I am going there. Without a doubt. So I think that would be the best of both worlds, to pursue that.
Yeah, I think after a show closes, providing that professional recording to a mainstream device, even though I don't think it is the best to provide it to Netflix, which you do have to pay for that streaming service. Yeah. More maybe a YouTube thing, but even if you provided it to a $5.99 a month streaming service, it'd be better than having to go to New York and pay for that
$100
ticket. Yeah.
And closed shows, I can't emphasize that enough so much. I know that the New York Public Library has an archive of basically all the shows that has ever been on Broadway, and you can access those. So I just don't see why that shouldn't be more put through. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yeah, you can request to go into a movie room and see these professional recordings of any show for the past however many years, which is really cool.
Is that free?
It's free. Yeah.
OMG, that's so cool.
I know.
I'll watch that.
If you were in New York.
Yeah.
So that sucks if you're not.
Yeah. It is still not super accessible, but it does make it a little bit easier to go see those shows, which is nice.
And it just emphasizes the point that, hey, this is a thing that can happen. You're just ignoring it for no reason because it's not like you're getting any money to like keep away closed shows from the public.
Yeah, apparently it doesn't have to be super expensive either, because if the New York Public Library can do it, you can do it too.
And every show is like professionally recorded. It's just hidden away. So why do that?
Yeah, why hide it away? Why not give it to the public so they can enjoy theater for free? Because that's something that is very important. Enjoying theater for a subtracted price, a lower price, so that everybody can have that joy in their lives of music, dancing, acting, immersing themselves in that different world.
And it's without a doubt one of the causes of so much like so disproportionately more white-centered, wealthier people in theater rather than those of different backgrounds, because they've been supported through that.
Because historically, housing and any sort of what is the word I'm looking for? Financial needs are supplied to people of Caucasian descent, white people, to say, less than people of color. So it is a big issue standing in theater that these resources are not given to people of other descents, other backgrounds, because they're historically being ignored.
Yeah.
It's got deeper than I thought.
Anything involving classism always going to lead back to racism and just separation with that.
Mm-hmm. There is that percentage of people who are going to argue it's not a real experience for some people. It's not like the true Broadway experience. I'd rather go see it on stage because I need to see this on stage, which is great. But it is a real experience for a lot of people who cannot afford to see the show in person. It's an experience that they can never get back. Like, it's an amazing thing. Just to see a show recorded is so eye-opening and so soul-awakening for some people. And a lot of people I do know have discovered a love for theater during the pandemic when we only had recorded theater. So it is possible to have those life-shaking moments with recorded theater.
Yeah, like I couldn't have said it better. That's really well said. Anyway, I think this goes on really well to our next topic, which is lesser known / overlooked shows. Because, I don't think they'd be as lesser known if people had access to them and they're already closed. But what are the overlooked shows to you, Pretzel?
So, especially in high school theater, I feel like we're stuck in doing all of these more 2000 shows, things that relate to today's high school kids, that are also pretty clean, kind of straight line shows that don't worry too much about, anything problematic, anything controversial, which is great. High school theater does do a very good job of making those shows amazing. It's not very it doesn't give a lot of option for these high school students, though. It doesn't give them the range for a professional theater. It doesn't give them the knowledge of all these older shows. And especially as just a person who's looking into going into theater and professional theater, I know that revivals happen a lot, and older shows are often really overlooked. And a bunch of them are very not okay.
Oh, yeah.
There are
a lot of them.
A lot of really not okay older shows, but a couple of them are amazing shows that have just not been looked at as much in the theater community. One that I could bring up right now is Hello, Dolly. It has its faults, but overall, it's a woman empowerment show about a woman who does not need no man, and who finds out that this man could be less of an extension of herself, less of a leader for her, and more of a person to walk alongside her. It's it's less of a show that's like, you cook, you clean. It's more of a show that says, you go follow your dreams. And if you find somebody willing to take those dreams and walk with you, go for it. And I think that's a very cool aspect of that one older show. And a lot of shows from that specific time period are also very empowering. I don't know, there's a lot of shows that talk about women empowerment, a lot of shows that talk about specific gender roles or LGBTQ plus that are just really unknown to the high school theater community. Otto, I know you have some examples of those.
Yeah. What is in my heart of hearts, the love of my life is Jeff West. Jeff West is a theater company that does bilingual shows with American Sign Language and English. They do amazing things with choreography that makes them accessible to both deaf and hearing people. And it doesn't really relate to a problem per se. I just think that everyone should know about it.
Yeah, it's another thing about accessibility where accessibility doesn't have to be for everyone. It's for to make a specific group of people, or like just make it easier for anybody to go see something, go do something. And I think that Deaf West's theater company is an amazing way for non-hearing people to go see a show in a different way than they ever experienced something.
Exactly. Deaf people can't listen to a soundtrack because they're deaf. They can't do that.
It makes being deaf makes even the thing that we were talking about with the morality of bootlegging makes watching a video of a musical difficult as well. There has to be another alternative to make it more accessible for this specific group of people, and Deaf West does a really good job of making that accessible.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was robbed at the Tonys 2015. But a big part of lesser-known shows recently have been the influence of social media with that.
Yes.
Because I don't have TikTok. Do you have TikTok?
I am a big TikTok.
Okay.
But not for the reasons you would think.
Okay.
I pay attention to TikTok mostly for musical theater. There's a lot of people who are very helpful in college auditions and finding a monologue, finding a song for your vocal range. There's a lot of helpful tips and tricks, but there's also a lot of resurfacing shows or shows that have just come to life through this social media app that nobody really thought would do anything for theater. That's obviously helping in some sort of way. A recent one is Ride the Cyclone, which is a very good show about a group of teenagers in a choir going to an amusement park, and they get on a ride together, and the ride ends up malfunctioning, and they all sadly pass away at their time in the amusement park. But it tells a story about their lives in a very musical, very fun and flirty way. And it's very much a TikTok musical, if that makes any sense. It's a musical for teenagers who are experimenting, who are having fun in their lives, where TikTok is very much an experimental app with that kind of stuff. Which is how it made its way to TikTok. And I think it's so cool that we can use that social media site to share unknown plays and musicals, and things that have not gotten the light of day. Mm-hmm. Also just sharing theater to people who thought they would never enjoy theater as a whole. Knowing that a bunch of very popular TikTokers, I don't know what you'd like to call them, influencers, I guess, are using musical theater songs in their TikToks in ways that you would be like, oh, wow, I can't believe you're using it like that. But they're getting that exposure to something that they probably have only seen a couple of times, but they're getting that exposure in a new way. So the use of Heather's songs in TikToks, especially Shut Up, Heather, that kind of, portion of Candy Store, is just showing that it's a musical is really up to interpretation within its life, its creation.
Yeah.
It's up for interpretation throughout all these things, and it's just really interesting to see that social media, especially TikTok, is helping the growth of a lot of these unknown musicals.
Yeah, I learned about Hamilton through social media in 6th grade, and before then, I just thought musicals were all like operas. Like, I just thought that's what musical theater was. Like, oh yeah, cause people singing on a stage with like lyrics I don't care about.
Because everybody knew Phantom of the Opera, obviously. Yeah, that was like the thing.
Yeah, but I just thought that was it. But social media has a really good influence on that.
Getting to know a bunch of social media in a way was like the reason I found theater.
Yeah.
Because my mom had Facebook, as any middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
Like, they just all have Facebook, Moms have Facebook. It's a thing. But she had Facebook, and she'd see all these ads for, child actor. An actor, looking for an actor that looks this specific way. And being a cheerleader as a young person, having those weird skills that they're always looking for in theater, the tumbling, the flexibility. We came across a show that needed people who could tumble, people who could tap dance, people who could do the splits while holding a thing on their head. Like, we came across a show like that, and we're like, hey, we can do this for something else besides cheerleading. And that was like a really big awakening. And it was weird that it came through social media.
Yeah. Something
that a lot of older people just don't realize is such a big portion of everyday life now.
Yep.
Otto, who does not have social media.
Real quick, I just wanna mention shows I think everyone should like.
Yes. Okay. Let's
lesser known ones.
Back into the lesser known.
A New Brain. If you are a fan of falsettos, A New Brain is by William Finn. It has a fantastic soundtrack. Same producer as falsettos. And it is centers on a queer man, and he has a boyfriend, and they don't die at the end. They have a really happy ending.
Crazy!
I know,
OMG!
Right? Not to say that
LGBTQ couples thriving in a musical, crazy.
Not to say that musicals where they do die are important, but it's very heartwarming and genuinely very nice.
It's good to see minority couples thrive.
Yeah. Do you have any?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
I am so engulfed in TikTok. I'm just waiting for the next big show to come out.
Another favorite show of mine is A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder.
That one's good. Yeah.
Love that one. It's like if you're a fan of Oscar Wilde, I think you'd like it. Very like comedy of manners, oldish. I don't know how popular it might be among other teens, but
oh no, I've heard of it. So good. I feel like I'm pretty under a rock sometimes. So if I've heard of it, I think a couple people have heard of it.
Carrie, if you haven't seen Carrie, love Carrie.
OMG.
Carrie musical based on Stephen King's Carrie. It's horror, and it goes so hard.
It's only a little risque at sometimes, but it's a very good just take on the high school experience as well.
Yeah.
And the religious experience as well. So it's a really interesting way to look at things.
Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812.
Yes, good.
Beautiful show. If you like Hadestown, you'll like that. Parade, fantastic show.
I like that one.
Love Parade.
Yes.
It's a true story about a Jewish man who was lynched in the 1910s, I believe.
Good show.
It's really good. It's so sad.
Tearjerker. Oh, I think one for me would be Bring It On.
Bring It On.
It's based off of a cheer movie. Like I said, I was a cheerleader growing up. It was a big movie for me. It's a really good coming of age show about challenges, struggles, especially struggles as being a minority as well. There's two rival groups of cheerleaders. One's a predominantly white group and one's a predominantly black group. And the predominantly white group has been stealing cheers from the predominantly black group for a while. because of one of their head cheerleaders.
Tale as old as time.
Yep. It's quite a good show, and I suggest it to most everyone.
Two final ones I have. Next to Normal, fantastic mental health show.
Yes.
Also heartbreaking. Bonnie and Clyde, also fantastic, great show. Jeremy Jordan, the who played Jack in Newsies, that is also fantastic.
Bonnie is a dream role. Oh,
Bonnie is
she's lovely.
Oh, this one not just came out. It came out recently. The Band's Visit is a beautiful, beautiful show. A lot of it is about like loneliness and finding connections where you didn't think you would, and it's really pretty. We don't have a lot of time left, but I know that teens are horrible at finding monologues for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a special talent for finding monologues. So
yeah, so if you guys need any monologues, hit Otto up.
Hit me up. Some techniques I use is a website online called the Monologuer. I believe it's run by Backstage. That has a filtering system that you can use. That's called the Monologuer. Yeah. Another one is if you're looking for more classical monologues, then most older pieces of literature have play adaptations. And if you like the story of a book or short story that you've read, they oftentimes have monologues in their plays that is good to use. I have a monologue that I took from The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, the play adaptation of that.
Yes.
Fantastic monologue. Or just, honestly, reading, I mean, you hear this a lot, but just read more plays. Or, if anything, just go to your drama teacher, take out
They will always have options. They have books upon books.
And you don't even have to read it. You can just, flip through the thing and try to find a big chunk of text.
Yeah.
That's usually where it works out.
Also, if you look at 10minuteplays.com, they will have a bunch of longer options if you are in speech and debate, or you just need a pretty hefty monologue for a class or an audition. You can always look at 10-minute plays. They have group options, duet options, solo options that are amazing. And any style, so.
Mm-hmm. But that is all we have for today.
Aww.
Yeah. This went by really fast. We both enjoy talking so much.
Way too much.
Way too much. If you would like to contact any of us, I don't know if Pretzel wants to share.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But if you want to ask me about monologue finding, because honestly, I will drop anything to help you find a monologue, I promise. Even if you think it's weird to just message this person on Instagram from You Heard Them on the Podcast. It's fine. I am at the Otto Mobile, OTTO Mobile on Instagram. I would love to talk to you.
Yeah, and if you guys need any help with, I think my specific talent is finding songs and vocal ranges. Yeah. Or just want to talk, my Instagram is at Pretzel MAE_.
I'm also really good at finding musical songs.
Oh, stop, Otto! You're too talented.
I know. It's just so hard living like this. But yeah, thank you so much, and have a good day.
Peace out.